Welcome. My name's Dr. Kevin Burden, and today I'm going to talk about a keynote presentation I delivered to an audience at the International Festival of Mobile Learning in Hong Kong in May 2015. Something really interesting is happening in the technology space, and it deals with mobile technologies. The first real technologies to play a part in education which are not owned by the institution, but rather by the individual. And in that sense, these technologies are highly personal, they're very robust, they're ubiquitous, and they're pervasive. And that means they have significant implications for how we organise our lives, and increasingly so, how we undertake the process of learning. To give you an impression of what I mean, take this picture, which was taken in 2005 at the election of Pope Benedict XVI. You'll notice, if you have a close look, that some of the people waiting for the election are using their mobile devices, but most of them appear not to have one. And if we fast forward to 2013, at the election of the most recent Pope, Pope Francis, we see a significant difference. And the difference is not just that more people have a mobile device, but it's to do with what they're using it for. They're using it to capture the moment, to record the events, if you like, for posterity, but also as a personal archive. The fact that they were there to demonstrate perhaps to people who could not be there, or their own children, that they were present at this momentous event. And this, in essence, captures for me what mobile technologies are all about. They're changing the way we think about our lives, the way in which we think about our society, the way we organise space and time. And that has major implications for education and for learning. And yet, when we look at some of the core elements of learning, and one of those is the textbook, very little seems to have changed with or despite the evolution of technologies like the mobile phone and the tablet device. And in fact, I often refer to eBooks as something of an oxymoron, because they are not really digital and books. The two things don't stand together. It's a little bit like the ways in which people used to refer to cars as gasoline versions of horses. Today we don't do that. We don't refer to the car as a gasoline version of a horse. But with eBooks we seem to be doing the same thing. We're describing them as digital versions of books. And herein lies what I consider to be one of the main problems in conceptualising and then really grasping the potential of what the ebook could be. As long as we compare it with traditional books, we're unlikely to recognise some of the genuine opportunities. And yet, as far back as the 1950s, when this graphic was produced, it seems that people had a better grasp, if you like, of what the book of the future might look like, what it might do. And you'll notice in this graphic that the young boy is operating a device that could in some ways be a proto-tablet device, a proto-iPad. It's got a TV, it's got questions, and it's got the ability to interact, so it's very dynamic. So what is an ebook, and what do we mean by books? And for some of us, the answer to that question will be radically different from what we might traditionally have meant by the book. And to exemplify what I mean there, let's have a look at a short video of a young child playing with an iPad. When this child enters school, it's likely her expectations of what the textbook is will be dramatically different to those of children born before the advent of mobile devices. The fact that it's interactive, it's touch sensitive, that it can play video, that it can give feedback, are all affordances or characteristics that are not typical or indeed practical in traditional print-based books. So we are about to be faced by a generation of learners who understand the term book to mean something very different from that term traditionally used in education. And what I want to talk about in the rest of this presentation is what that means in terms of the implications for designing books and teaching and learning with books.